Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you and welcome. Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for tomorrow night's big night of action coming your way. It's FOX Sports PPV pay-per-view, and it's all brought to you by TGB Promotions, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Don't ignore that check engine light. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and allow them to scan your vehicle for free. And also brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, the finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. Well, fans, we'll begin our weigh-in with our opening bout on our pay-per-view event, a welterweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. First, we welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. With a record of 22 wins, 3 losses, and 9 wins coming by way of knockout from Norwalk, California, here is Javier Intocable Molina. And now we invite his opponent to the stage at this time, undefeated at 15-0 with 14 knockouts from Casa Grande, Arizona, the young star of the welterweights, Jesus Mono Ramos. And now our fighters are ready to step onto the scale. The weight limit on this fight is 150 pounds. First, here is the tough contender, the former Olympian Javier Intocable Molina. 149.25 pounds, 149.25 pounds for Molina. And his opponent, undefeated Southpaw World Ring contender, Jesus Mono Ramos. £150, even 150 for Jesus Mono Ramos.
So Jesus Ramos, 20 years of age, he's won 5 straight by knockout, but Javier Molina, Mikey, this is his most difficult challenge to date on paper for Jesus Ramos.
Yeah, look, Javier Molina, he's Olympian, you know, he's experienced, he's been in tough fights before. I think this is a tough fight for Ramos, but this is the kind of test that he has to pass in order to step up in the ranks.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, Mono Ramos versus Javier Molina. Welterweights, 10 rounds of action scheduled. Our opening attraction tomorrow night live on pay-per-view, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions continues with our weigh-in. This time we present a world title eliminator, brought to you by TGB Promotions in association with Samson Boxing. We'll welcome our fighters to the stage at this time. First, with a record of 30 wins, 4 losses, 27 wins coming by way of knockout from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, Jorge Demonio Cota. And now we invite to the stage, undefeated at 16-0, 1 draw, 11 wins coming by way of knockout, the number 2 ranked super welterweight in the world, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. And now first to the scale for this WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator. 154 pounds is the weight limit on this fight. The hard-hitting contender from Mexico, Jorge Demonio Cota. $153.5 pounds for Cota, 153.5 pounds. And now to the scale, the undefeated world ranked contender, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. 152.75 pounds, 152.75 pounds for the towering Inferno.
So Sean, Sebastian Fundora, 6 feet 6 inches tall. Both men have vowed that this fight will not go the distance. If Fundora defeats Cota in grand fashion, is he a legit contender?
Yeah, no, he's a legit contender. Cota's been in the ring with some great guys. Both of these guys are going to go toe-to-toe, which is why they said that the fight is not going to go the distance.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator, Sebastian Fundora, Jorge Cota, Fox Sports PPV pay-per-view. And now, Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in for our next world title eliminator. Inviting to the stage with a record of 26 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. He has 20 wins coming by way of knockout from Casa Grande, Arizona, Abelito Ramirez Ramos. His opponent with a record of 28 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw with 19 knockouts, the former WBC lightweight champion of the world, Omar Panterita Figueroa Jr. And now to the scale for this 147-pound weight limit fight, 12 rounds, WBA welterweight world title eliminator, the world ranked contender, Abel Ramos. 146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for Abelito Ramos. And now his opponent, the former world champion from Weslaco, Texas, Omar Panterita Figueroa Jr. 146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for Omar Figueroa.
So Figueroa has stated that he believes he will finish off Abel Ramos in 6 rounds or less. Ramos is the uncle of Jesus Ramos. They're both fighting on the same card. Mikey, what do you expect tomorrow in this matchup?
I think it's gonna be fireworks. This matchup is poised to be nothing but great, rounds. I like both fighters actually. Figueroa, being that he made weight comfortably, it seems like he's comfortable. He had trouble earlier in other fights. This time he looks very good. I see his eyes are nice and sharp. So I think it's gonna be a great matchup.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the WBA welterweight world title eliminator. It's going to be a good one. Omar Figueroa, Abel Ramos, 12 rounds of boxing scheduled. And now we're going to send it back to the desk with Ray Flores.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And yes, the undercard, they are weighed in and ready to go. But now we look forward to our main event of the evening. Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola, 2 heavyweights who are looking to go toe-to-toe tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
This is my chance. This is my opportunity to become the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. This is my chance. This is my opportunity to become the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world.
Joshua's hurt! Oh, Joshua goes down!
June to December, what happened to you?
Waiting 28 years for this opportunity, for my dreams to come true.
The world gets planted on your feet and you indulge.
It still haunts me in my heart. I don't want that to go away.
First time you heard the name broached, a fight with Andy Ruiz.
With all due respect, I'm a curse, but I was like, yeah.
Oh, we need to see this. Oh, down goes Augustine.
I feel like I never felt before, you know? I'm gonna be weighing 255 pounds.
You're gonna be in the 250s, really.
I wanna be like at 245 pounds, lean, muscled. I wanna look like a Mexican Joshua.
I'm a boxer. This ain't fat camp. This ain't bodybuilding camp. All that matters is that I'm a boxer. I'm a fighter. I'm in there to fight.
Every shot is meaningful.
The Mexican Rocky makes me believe incredible.
One time he wanted to be like me. Now I want to be like him.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. We have so much great content for you tomorrow night on Fox Sports PPV pay-per-view. Ray Flores, Mikey Garcia, Showtime, Sean Porter. Well, gentlemen, as we are here with Andy Ruiz, the only fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world, we can't discuss Andy Ruiz without going back to June of 2019 when he defeated Anthony Joshua. What a moment at Madison Square Garden, Sean.
I remember when the fight was announced, a lot of people were counting him out, looking at his body and all that kind of stuff. And he just went in and did something spectacular, something great, and something that was just so unexpected. And I think everybody just wants to see that energy from him again. And I think it starts on Saturday night.
I clearly remember I was there actually in the arena, and I was probably the only one actually cheering and supporting Andy that night. Everybody else was obviously there to see AJ. I think Joshua was big, appearance here in the United States, so everybody expected such a huge event out of him. But Andy surprised the world. Andy really shocked everybody. Whenever everybody talked about that fight, people just doubted Andy. But I always knew that he had the opportunity. He has fast hands. He's very strong. And AJ was vulnerable at times, and he took advantage of the opportunity that was given to him.
Well, the one item that we're hearing with Andy Ruiz is that he's the most focused and determined that he's ever been in his career. He's now with Eddie Reynoso down in San Diego, who's the same trainer as Canelo Alvarez. And I spoke with Canelo last week, and he even said that Andy Ruiz is really putting in some great work in this training camp.
Yeah, he just had to grow up. He had to mature, and he had to find himself. And he says he's done that. I believe he's done that. And you can tell if you look at his body, he's sexy now. He's ready. He's ready to become a world champion again.
I believe it too. Eddie's a great trainer. He has a great training camp. I mentioned earlier, before, iron sharpens iron. They train together with great fighters like Canelo, like Valdez, and I think that has also helped Ruiz, develop and get motivated and stay disciplined more than anything.
And also with Andy Ruiz, he has been professing that he wants to weigh in ideally between 245 and 255. Well, we're going to see if he is going to make good on that notion, as right now we send it over to the Hall of Famer. Here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in For the Fox Sports PPV pay-per-view main event of the evening, the explosive showdown between two of the greatest Mexican-American heavyweights in history. And now, before we bring our fighters to the stage, at this time, let's take a closer look at this all-action guaranteed matchup for the main event. It's Ruiz versus Arreola.
Losing his championship belts here tonight.
It's really important to face my own truth because I want to prove people wrong, you know? I wasn't just a one-hit wonder. I want to get those titles back.
Andy Ruiz is the heavyweight champion, and Andy Ruiz has shocked the world.
I wanted to be that man that Andy is now.
We both had the same dream, but I was the first Mexican heavyweight champion.
Winning the title, I'll take the second Mexican, that'd be cool.
What motivates me now is becoming a two-time heavyweight champion of the world and getting the belts back.
I was born a fighter. I fight for myself, I fight for my family, I fight because I love it. I want to be remembered. That's why I'm in boxing. I'm in boxing to be a world heavyweight champion.
We're both Mexican warriors. You don't give up, I don't give up. We like to bang, we're not scared of getting hit. This is gonna be an all-action fight.
Well, fans, our main event features a WBA heavyweight world title eliminator. Now we invite our fighters to the stage. First, with 33 knockouts in his 38 victories, the hard-hitting warrior from Riverside, California, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. And now introducing his opponent with a record of 33 wins and 2 losses, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is boxing's first heavyweight champion of Mexican heritage from Imperial Valley, California, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Well, fans, this WBA heavyweight world title eliminator scheduled 12 rounds of boxing. First to the scale at this time, the hard-hitting world-ranked contender, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. 228.5 pounds, 228.5 pounds for Chris the Nightmare Arreola. And now his opponent ready to step onto the scale, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, the new Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. 256 pounds for Andy Ruiz, 256 pounds.
Andy Ruiz weighed in at 256. Sean, what did you take away from that weigh-in?
Both of these guys worked hard. It takes hard work to get where we get, and both guys, you can tell they've worked hard for this moment.
You definitely do see.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. It's the main event at our Fox Sports PPV pay-per-view 12 rounds WBA heavyweight world title eliminator.
There we go. That's a little better, right, everybody?
Are you ready?
A little fun, a little jovial behavior here on stage before we go. But 228.5 pounds. Chris That is the lightest you have ever weighed in your career. We have to go back to 2006. You weighed in at 229. So what do you think will be the difference in this fight given this drastic weight cut?
Hard work. Hard work, dedication. You know, a la Mayweather, man, that's all they took. I just worked hard every day. I listened to whatever Joe said, whatever Wally said, you know, we're there working. So this weight means nothing to me. All that matters is the hard work that I put in, and I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm more than ready than I've ever been.
You said the weight was just a byproduct of the hard work. In comparison to your record-setting performance against Adam Kovnatsky, how do you feel different coming into this one?
You know, we put in the work. We worked 3-4 times harder than that fight because I knew that Andy was coming for my head. I knew that Andy has been working hard. As you could tell, he's in great condition himself. So this calls for a great performance and a great night of boxing. And everybody that doubted me, you're going to see on Saturday.
Final words for Andy Ruiz.
Let's put on a great show for our Mexican fans, for all the boxing fans in the world.
Excellent. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Chris. We'll head over to the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy, Sean Porter called you sexy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
You know, in terms of this weigh-in day, obviously when you were in Saudi Arabia, we knew you weighed in at 283.5 pounds. Today you come in at 256. How was this weigh-in different, and how is that affecting your mindset coming into this fight?
It's all the hard work and dedication, you know, and ever since I went over there with Eddie and Canelo, you know, it's all about being disciplined, not just inside the ring, but outside of the ring. So that's why we had to make a change. And, you know, I could have dropped even more, but I felt really strong at 256. So I feel amazing.
You know, in terms of the power, I know a lot of people say you lose that weight, perhaps you lose that power. I spoke to Eddie just before the weigh-in, and he said, in fact, he thinks you have more power because of this weight difference. Would you agree, and how do you feel in terms of your power?
I do agree because I'm more fast, I'm more explosive. I could move around more, bob and weave, counter punch, you know, and you know, before I used to have this big gut and I couldn't move around or I couldn't really throw my punches right. So at this weight, I've been doing everything right, everything correct. So I'm just excited to see how I feel inside the ring on May 1st.
Prediction in this fight, how does it end?
You know what? Everyone tells me about prediction. I don't predict any of my fights. The only thing that I ask God for is for the victory, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing on May 1st.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andy. All right, it's one more sleep until these heavyweights collide in the ring. We'll send it now back to Ray Flores for more on this pay-per-view coverage.